Hello and welcome to another edition of the Friday Night Pint. I'm here with Nicky and Ryan. Nicky just threw it on me that I'm doing the intro, hence why everyone's giggling and laughing. I hope we had a fantastic week. Hello to everyone in the chat, and boys, how we doing?
Yeah, I'm right, mate. I didn't know what happened there. You just froze. I thought you was froze. I was going to step
I knew
in.
you wouldn't do it. I knew you wouldn't do it.
It's John Montana. Yeah, I'm all right, thank you, mate. I'm a bit more lively than I was at the start of the week. I've had that man flu. You know, I've had a bit of a bad cold this week, but it's I'm at the end of it now. I'm at the bit where it's going, so I'm getting it out just in time for Christmas. So yeah, I've got a beer in my hand with you boys on a Friday night, not on the eve of the World Cup, but 2 days away from the World Cup starting. What more do you want?
Exciting times, mate. Exciting times. You know, it's it's something to look forward to, isn't it? Nick, you all right, mate?
Yeah, mate. I've had like an illness like Ryan, but I got over it. Then I've got another one, I think.
Everyone's
don't
ill
say
at
that.
Honestly, my chest has gone really bad again, and I'm really, really sick again. But
Do you know what? I'm convinced that these tablets make you more ill because right, I bought these tablets right because my chest, I had a sore throat and I had a bit of a cough. Never even had a blocked up nose. Started taking these tablets and I've got a blocked up nose. I'm sure that they make you even more ill. But
brings it all out, doesn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah, but since an early age, like it's always around this time of the year that I always get ill. First few weeks of November, all the time.
Graham's fault, mate. He's had that cough and cold for ages. I think he's passed it on to everyone.
Where is Graham?
Busy tonight.
No, he's fucking always busy. Friday night, Graham's busy.
What you been up to this week, anyway?
Not a lot, really. To be fair, not much been happening. Been quite quiet.
Yeah, Nick Tucker's in the chat. He says we need some peas and ham. Peas and ham.
That's probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard. Do you know what I've done this week?
Go on.
When I met Mark Noble.
I don't start reading out chapters of it.
No, I'm not going to. I just had it there. I've been reading it. Reading out chapters of it.
Good. Is it a good read?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I'm about halfway through. I'm going to finish the rest.
I don't want to ruin the ending for you, but he retires at the end.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Oh. No, I'm going to get it. I'm gutted because I was going to go down to the shop with Nicky, meet Nicky down there. Like, he done the book signing last week, but I was just so ill. And you know, when I can't get out of bed for Noble, you know I'm ill.
Yeah, definitely. So, definitely.
Yeah, I apologise, no.
Yeah, I'm just glad this week we ain't got to watch fucking West Ham. That's the best fucking thing about this week. It's my early Christmas present.
Nah, mate. Listen, I'll take the positives. You know me, we're unbeaten. We're unbeaten this week. Happy days.
Yeah, no we're going to be. I reckon we're going to beat until Christmas, at least.
It's the way it's a nice distraction. It's just weird having the World Cup at this period of time.
I'm telling you, Scott. I'm telling you, mate. Christmas trees up during the World Cup is global warming. It's fucking it's fucking ruined the world. That's crazy, isn't it? I see people with all the people around my way have started putting up their Christmas decorations and that, and I'm thinking to myself, the World Cup's going on. Like, it's weird because some houses have got flags out, some have got Christmas decorations out, some have still got their Halloween stuff up. So it's all mixed around here. We don't know what we're doing in Corringham.
I'm
looking fair, mate. Go on,
about the World Cup. I'm looking forward to it now. So
yeah,
watch a little bit of football.
I'm actually really looking forward to it. It's a competition that I sort of thought I'm not really going to, obviously because of England, but I'm really looking forward to the opening game. I'm looking forward to just having football every day. You know, I think is it the kickoffs are 10-1 and 7, 10-1, 4 and 7?
4 and 7, yeah.
So yeah, it's football all day. I know we're going to be at work for some of them, but look, the England games, we only miss it's only one game I'm at work for, but we set up the TV today, so I will be watching it in work, getting paid to watch England. Feel like Gary Lineker.
That's it, mate. That's the good thing about it. So long as you've got an understanding boss who understands how important the World Cup can be to someone. But the 1 o'clock kickoffs are all a bit dodgy, aren't they? You know, especially the first one. It's one of those. I know we're only playing a side like Iran, but you want to watch the World Cup.
What time is that in?
I ain't got a clue.
I think it's about. Is it about 7 o'clock or
have a Google
something like that?
So the 1 o'clock kickoff is at 7.
I think the 7 o'clock. No, it can't because the 7 o'clock games are 10 o'clock here, I think.
So,
Or 9
so,
o'clock.
so the
It's
7
I
o'clock.
think it's 2 hours difference.
So what? They're 2 hours in front.
Yeah.
So if it's 12 o'clock over here, it's a 2 o'clock kickoff over there.
Well, it's 1 o'clock here, so it'll be 3 o'clock there.
So 3 o'clock over there, yeah. So that'd be normal for our players.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, right, they keep saying about the training sessions and all that, the heat and everything. They're playing in a bloody air-conditioned stadium. Yeah, the heat's not going to come into it.
Nah. It'll be
It's meant
all
to
right.
be
Weird, mate.
I know there's a lot of controversy with this tournament and that, but I think it will be a good tournament football-wise. I think there's some really good teams in it. You know, there's probably you probably pick about 3 or 4 winners. You know, Argentina, Brazil. I think Portugal will be in amongst it as well. Maybe Germany and hopefully England to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough tournament. I think the non-European sides in this tournament have got a bit of an advantage. You know, the European teams have only been playing European sides. You know, it's been because of the Nations League and all that. It's done away with the friendlies that no one really wanted. But then you've had, you know, normally you play South American opposition, African opposition, leading up to a World Cup. At the minute, we've just played European teams, so this could benefit the South American sides who have sort of been playing against each other, but also playing other teams around the world.
Well, I don't want to wind any of the fans up out there, but I'm just going to take a sip of my beer as I can. Because they won't be.
I think this is this is I think like, I want to try and stay away from the controversies. We've made it quite well documented over the last year or so what we feel about it. Look, at the end of the day, it's going ahead. You can't sort of avoid it, so you might as well go with the flow. You know, people should have been making these arguments, you know, a long time ago and all of that sort of thing. But, you know, the football's there. You don't have to agree with the politics of the country to enjoy the football. So I'm going to enjoy the football. But, you know, doing that 2 days before a World Cup, I mean, there's going to be, I'll tell you something now, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits after this World Cup, I think.
Yeah, of course, because the brands that have pulled out have had all the advertisement in their favour, leading all the way up to the World Cup, and then at the last minute go, "Oh, we're pulling out." You know, you can't tell me the views and values that they're trying to say they're standing by pulling out of this tournament weren't there when the tournament was awarded. So they've got all their branding, they've got all their advertisement, they've got their faces and names all over different things, and then at the last minute going, "Oh, we're making a stand and pulling out." So basically, what you're saying is you've made all your money that you lost sponsoring the tournament, and now you decided to pull the plug on it, you know, to get your name even more out there. It's
a bit weird, isn't it? Like what these brands that are sort of trying to make these stands, like it's 2 days before the World Cup starts. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What have you been doing for the last 10 years? You got awarded.
This is
It's
it, mate.
It's just madness. It's just madness. Look, but
I'm sure there'll be. I mean, you would have seen the news reporters that got chucked off the street. There was today. There was loads of reporters that got chucked out of a restaurant out there. So I think there's going to be loads of controversy as we go through this tournament, and I think that it'll be our luck that England to get to the final. Probably be 2-0 out of a minute to go, and they'll scrap the tournament and go, "No, right, fuck it." It's just it's crazy. But as I said, I'm just concentrating on the football. I'm looking forward to hopefully a good tournament and hopefully one that England can go far in.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. The thing is, there's no reason why we can't. We've got a good crop of players that go in there. You know, so we've got as good a chance as anyone, I think, in this World Cup.
I think the only thing that I think will end up affecting us, mate, is our defence.
Yeah, but
I'm not that confident in our defence, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people said that during the Euros, and we done well. And I think it was in the World Cup. I know a lot. Harry Maguire gets his critics, but when he pulls on an England shirt, he's different and he plays better. And I think if I was to pick one weak area in the England team, I'd agree with you. I think it's probably the defence, and I think the goalkeeper as well. I think Pickford hasn't been great, especially in the last few England games that he's played, and obviously for Everton this season. But no, look, I think we've got enough going forward that if we do concede, I think we're one of them teams that if they score one, we'll go and score two. And I'm confident in England. Do I think we're going to win it? It'll be tough. It will be tough, but I think we're good enough to get to at least the semi-finals. Minimum, I'd say, would be semi-finals for me.
I'll be honest, mate. I think I'm with you. I think it's got to be minimum semi-finals. When you look at the other teams that are in the competition, we're up there with one of the favourites. No matter how you look at it, I know our defence ain't great. There's certain players who, when you look at how they play for England, usually their club form don't really matter. As much as I'm a big advocate that if you're in form, you should get picked, and if you're out of form, you shouldn't. But there's some players there who don't seem to let England down when it matters. And that's probably why Southgate's put them in the side.
The thing is with Southgate, I know he does get criticism, and rightly so sometimes, with his tactics and that. But I think what he's done for the England team, I see an interview with Agbonlahor, and he was talking about his time plan for England, and he said about when they used to go for team meetings or meals or lunch or whatever, you'd have that none of the players that played in sort of like mid-table teams can sit on a certain side of the table. So you'd have Gerrard, Rooney, Lampard, Rio, Beckham. And he was saying there was one game where Beckham was sat in the middle of everyone and he didn't speak to anyone. And I can't remember. I think he said it was Phil Jagielka asked him a question about the Milan derby. He was playing for AC Milan at the time. And he sort of just like threw his book down and like sort of like he didn't want to talk to any players. And that's the difference, I think, what Southgate's brought in. Everyone's connected. There's no different personalities in that team. And I think when you've got personalities like Grealish, Declan Rice, all them youngsters in the squad that like to have a muck about and a joke like Saka and that, I think it's good. And I think that's one thing that England have been missing for a long time is that sort of togetherness. And that I think that's why we've done well in tournaments when people really didn't give us a chance in Russia. We got to the semis. And in the Euros last year, we got to the final and we lost on a penalty shootout. So we're getting closer. But I think that comes down to a lot of togetherness and team spirit and why we are doing so well in tournaments.
I think it's ironic when you look at that golden generation of players, the Rio, the Beckham, the Lampard, Gerrard, and all of them people. And like a lot of people turn around and say, like, the times have changed since then. In club football, in social media's come about since then. They all talk to each other. They all hang about with each other. They all hang about together outside of football. And there's very little sort of rivalry anymore. You won't get someone like Declan Rice snubbing Harry Kane because he plays for Tottenham. They just get on now. And when you think about and when they've spoke about what it was 20 years ago, and they was all serial winners and they was all in competition with each other and club wise, and then you think to yourself, they're all serial winners, so they didn't talk to each other, and they was also sort of what's the word? Fiercely loyal to their clubs and winning and competitive and all that sort of thing, which made them foul worse than the bunch that get on. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to be. I think you've even seen this with West Ham this year. You have to be together. You have to like each other's company because you're going to spend a fucking hell of a lot of time with each other, whether you like it or not. You're going to be away from your families. You're going to be away from your friends, hopefully for the duration of the tournament. So, I think it's just a better way of approaching a tournament to be, friendly with each other. And
it's not only that as well. Company. As you said, they're all good mates, but they only flew out. What was it? I think they only arrived there yesterday, didn't they, or the day before? So it's literally you land there, you're there for a few days, and then bang, you're straight into a game. Where in other tournaments, when they're summer tournaments, you're waiting around for 4 weeks before you even play a game of football. Yeah, so I think this is where it's going to benefit England a little bit. I think because our players are nearly halfway through a season. They've played a lot of football in Europe, in the Premier League, so. I'm looking forward to it, and I think England will do well in the tournament. And I'm looking forward to the opening game against Iran. I ain't taking Iran for granted, but I think England will have enough to win that opening group game. I know we don't usually do well, and it might be a last-minute winner or something like that. But as long as we get them 3 points, sets us up nice for the USA game. For me, that's going to be the toughest game of the 3. USA. That's the team that worries me a bit more.
Yeah, I'm with you. Look, you don't take the minnows for granted, but on paper, Iran should be an easy fixture. USA tougher sort of game, and in the third game it should be job done. Let's be honest, they're not that great. So we'll we need to finish top of our group, and I think we will. You've got. I think, like we said, the togetherness of the squad. The fact that he picks players not only on their ability but on their attitude within the dressing room. I'm a big critic of why Jordan Henderson gets in the squad, but the fact that he's a winner for Liverpool, the fact that he captains a Liverpool side and won major trophies with them, he's a Champions League winner, he's a Premier League winner. Having him in the dressing room with that mentality of being in these big occasions, it helps the youngsters. I think
not only that, mate. Jordan Henderson would probably be a player that you bring on just to see out the game, didn't you? See out the last 5 minutes.
As long as we're winning by 2 goals, that's fine. We don't want him coming on to see out a game when it's 1-0, like he did in the final.
No. But yeah, look, we obviously
it's like Connor Cody. He's gone, isn't he? And he's another player who's good to have in the dressing room. He's a good attitude. He's a player who's, I think Southgate mentioned him before when we was in the Euros, of players who weren't playing the games, who weren't getting any game time. They were as key as the players playing on the pitch because their attitude was right in the dressing room, and that's what you need. It's like you said, you've got to have this togetherness, but you've got to have the right attitude with the players who are not starting in the games, who know that they're there. And they're only going to get a game if someone gets injured. They've got the right attitude. That will spread through the team.
There's 26 players and only 11 can start. So there's obviously competition there, but that's what you need. And you need players that can come on and affect the game if it ain't going right. If you go to extra time, you need players that are going to have they're going to come on and be physically fit. I mean, for me, I don't know how Southgate's going to set up, but forward. I mean, obviously Harry Kane will be your main man up front, but then it's the three that play, the two that play off of him. There's a lot of options there, and it's good that we've got that sort of. If things ain't going right, you've got a Jack Grealish to chuck on. You've got a Saka that can change a game. You've got a Jude Bellingham, who I'm really looking forward to watching. I think that when you talk about players of the tournament for England, I think his name will be up there. I think he's destined to be in the Premier League, and he's doing well for Dortmund at the moment, and I think he's going to put himself in the shop window, and you might see him maybe going to Man City next season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that Rice-Bellingham combination in the middle. I'm hoping we see it from the opening game.
Well, we've obviously got England's our main focus, but obviously we've got other players out there representing West Ham. You got Kehrer, Paqueta, Areola probably ain't going to play much football out there, and obviously Ben Rama. So there's a lot of interest.
Is Ben Rama gone?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, Ben Rama. How would you?
Quetta, Aguirre.
Yeah, 5. We've got 5 players.
Yeah, Rice, Kehrer,
Areola.
I don't think Ben Rama's there, mate.
I'll have a look.
Do you know what? As it goes, no. Do you know what? You might be right. I think
It's Aguirre. It's Aguirre you're thinking of.
Yeah, Aguirre. Yeah. Sorry, that's what I mean. Aguirre. Sorry. Did you know why? Because I was watching Ben Rama in a friendly the other day.
I don't
know. Obviously, Aguirre. Yeah, I was watching Ben Rama in a friendly the other day. That's why he's on my mind. So Aguirre as well, which is, for us, we need him to get as much game time as possible out there because he's going to be a big key player for us when he comes back.
There's a bonus player out there as well, Vlasic.
Yeah, Vlasic is obviously out there, but he's not. To me, he's not West Ham this season. He's playing for whoever he's playing for out in Italy. So,
do you know what? Right, I've got a feeling there's going to be one of our players are going to win this World Cup.
Yeah, Rice. That's why he took the extra bag. You see
Hopefully.
that?
I'm hoping, mate. I'm hoping it is, but I've got a funny feeling. I think one of our players.
You've seen that pub down the road from me in Allsett? They've done that mural for Declan Rice.
Yeah,
he went there the other night, didn't he, to sign it before he left?
Yeah.
I'm hoping Rice is going to lift it. I hope, obviously, Kehrer don't lift it. I hope Paqueta don't lift it. None of these don't lift it, apart from us. But if England don't win it, I don't want to see the Germans win it. Definitely don't want to see the French win it. I'd probably take Brazil winning it.
I think Brazil will win it.
That's only because I got a soft spot for R9 Ronaldo. I watched his documentary the other day. Man, that geezer was something else. Honestly, I forgot. I remember it at the time, but obviously over the years you forget when he got his injury on his comeback game. And this documentary shows like when he done it, and to see him screaming in agony, like, was uncomfortable to watch. But what a player! If he would have never got injuries, Ronaldo and Messi would never even, like Portuguese Ronaldo, they would never have got near him in records, man. That geezer would have broke every single record going. He was unreal. Such
Very
a
good
shame
player.
what happened to him.
Yeah.
But it's a great documentary. You should watch it. It goes from 94 to 2002. It's called Phenomenon.
I'm going to watch that because I did like him. Let me take some comments quickly. Polly Walnut's talking about Qatar. Says it's their country, so can't change them. They should have just not been allowed to host it. He also followed that up with, they've had the same rules since they won the bid, so why are people talking about it now? Because they're there. That's why. Danny Wimbledon to Worthinghammer. Why not lawsuits before the World Cup? But we all know why. And then he's put a load of pound emojis. Tony Hammer Ryan says Budweiser have been told to take the pop-up bars down. They are the main sponsors. If you have a corporate ticket which costs 19,000, I'm assuming that's pounds, you can drink a beer, no problem. Matt Rainey, $8.99 super chat. He says it's only been 5 minutes since the World Cup started, and I want club football back. I'm so against this World Cup, but all I want to do is support our boys and be proud whatever happens. Good shout. Ahmad Date says Blatter even said it was a mistake to let Qatar get the World Cup. He signed it off, all about making money. Yeah, it's a mistake now. It wasn't a mistake when they was fucking lying in his pocket. Sam Martingale says it's their country, their culture, their traditions. Don't see what right the West has to say out about it, to be honest. I would say that's right, but they do kill people for kissing each other. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Kent Hammers, lads, what do you think about the club selling away games so early? i.e. Leeds going on sale today. The game isn't until the 4th of January. I think it's about right.
Ain't it something to do with a post? Ain't there a post strike in December as well? Maybe that's why they want to get them out before the. I'm sure that might be. But yeah,
butchers that later.
Yeah, I don't know. They obviously they're skint for Christmas and they want our money to buy presents.
Steve WHU Bell says, don't think you can look any further than Brazil or Argentina. Nice Castro, not being funny of anything. I thought Qatar a lot safer to be walking around the street compared to South African World Cup, even when it was held in Brazil. People getting mugged left, right, and centre. So if anything, take me to Qatar anytime, in my honest opinion. Fair enough. Amadate says, I'm too bothered about playing an electric bill to waste to watch a bunch of millionaires. We do that in the Premier League every week, mate. Even more millionaires. LTEL 1010. What about 20 quid for a friendly with Fulham? Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, in my opinion. But again, we'll touch on that a bit later as well. Heard that about the so-called golden generation. They had a massive divide and too many egos in it. Dropped like Spuds, sent a £1.99 super sticker. Thank you very much for that. England wasn't a team back then. I think they are now. Nas Castro says we've been through that transition moment like we've seen with Italy. Not even qualified, and not long ago Holland went through it, not qualifying. So fingers crossed England looks strong/good and ready to go. Young, hungry players. I can't wait. I've got a strong feeling we're going to be okay this World Cup. The lads will deal with the matter. In my honest opinion, good positivity there. Hi guys, love the show. Only just recently started my own channel, so I know how hard it is. So I take my hat off to you. Good luck with the World Cup. I'm not playing, mate, and neither are these two. Thank you very much, though. I do appreciate it. They've already named the 26-man squad, mate. Michael,
late injury.
It doesn't feel like the World Cup starts on Sunday, and I agree with that. Delpster, LCFC 92, your centre-back pairing in either back three, back four. Who would you have centre-backs?
Obviously, he's going to play Maguire. I think he might. Depends how he sets up. He sets up with three at the back. I think you might see Kyle Walker play alongside him.
I think Walker's out for the
first game. Yeah,
definitely the first game, but maybe the second as well.
They'll probably set up for a back four, I reckon, against Iran.
Yeah, you're right. it's like you said, Maguire will start. It's just who's going to start along him and who's fit. You know, I'm trying to remember who's gone. Who's the centre back?
It'll be Stones. It'll be Stones.
Yeah,
and
Stones and Maguire, wouldn't it?
Maguire, without a doubt. But
they've done well together for England.
who would you pick?
I'd probably go with them two. If it's a back centre back pairing, I'd probably go with them two. Right back would probably be, if Carl Walker's out, probably Trent.
No place for young Ben White. He's played ever so well.
Yeah, no. Do you know what, Ben White? Yeah, Ben White is a good shout, but I just think the opening game, nerves. I think he might go with experience, who's played with him before. But Ben White, he's been great for Arsenal this season, and he's starting to prove now why Arsenal paid that money for him, because a lot of people laughed at him. Yeah, like Trippier as well. He's another one who's been in form. So maybe for defensive wise, he might go with Trippier.
Yeah, I think he might go with Trippier.
Trippier will start. I couldn't remember who's in the squad, but I said with Walker out injured, I think against Iran, Trent should start at that right back, and
left back would probably be Luke Shaw.
Sure, he's the only left back we got.
Yeah, Chilwell's obviously out, isn't he? And but Luke Shaw's another one. He done well in the Euros last year. He scored in the final.
And you look at Shaw's form going into that Euros, it wasn't brilliant. You know, and he stepped up. But I think the way Trippier's playing at the minute, I'd have Trent on the right against Iran and Trippier on the left. But definitely go for a back four.
You know what, right? I just read that comment there. I was going to get up. I just read it quickly. Where was it? Oh, was it fucking gone? It says, Dino, I hope Dec's got plenty of sun cream because I want to think you'll play every minute. When I read it, I thought it said custard cream. I thought Declan's got loads of custard creams. I was thinking, fuck you, because it was so small in the corner. I'm going to give up them beers.
England lost the Euro final because Rice was taken off fact. I think we should be gaining for Cody. Can't believe he's still out on loan.
And I think Italy even admitted that, didn't they? That they knew they won the final when Rice come off.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mancini said that. He went on record as saying that.
Mate, biggest mistake, second biggest mistake Southgate made in that final, in my opinion.
Edmilson, Fernandez, Enner Valencia, and Daniel there's some names. Henry, there's some names there I ain't heard in a long time. Rice is going to score a belting winner and do the chicken. Brazil are the Argies for Phil Brown. And I don't know why I tagged that one. He just says, yeah,
when I said there's going to be a West Ham player winning the World Cup.
Oh, right. There you go.
Listen, talking about Paqueta quickly, I'm hoping that he goes out there and gets a bit of form, you know, because obviously at the moment it ain't working for him at West Ham. Hopefully he goes away and he'll get a lot of minutes under his belt and he comes back a different player. But I'm looking forward to watching Paqueta play. I'm looking forward to watching all of our players playing, especially Declan Rice. I want him to have a really good tournament, and I think he will. You know, he's a main man for England now. You know, when you look at the spine of the team England have got, you know, you've got Harry Kane up top, Rice in the middle, you know, Maguire at the back, Pickford in goal. That is a strong spine of a team.
Yeah, Rice, like you said, mate, Rice is one of the first names on that team sheet now, without fail.
And listen, whatever your feelings are about Harry Kane, he scores goals. And I'm looking forward to one player that we haven't spoken about. I think hopefully we'll have a good tournament. Is Sterling. You know, he's been brilliant for us in the last couple of tournaments, and you know he's gone to Chelsea. And all right, he probably hasn't hit it off, but maybe we don't get more focus on him now because when he's at City, he gets a lot more focus. He's just playing at Chelsea, and you don't really notice him as much now. But I think I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for the tournament, and I'm hoping that we get off to a good start. You know. And then get a good win. I just, beat Wales as well.
Yeah, I would say like there is a couple of players in our side now that this World Cup could benefit. You know, Rice is going to be Rice regardless of the World Cup or not. But Aguirre playing for Morocco, and he's going to play for Morocco. Hopefully, it'll be 3 or 4 games, and then they will probably crash out if I'm quite honest. Yeah, but it will only do his confidence and his fitness good. And we want Paqueta to sort of like play himself into a bit of form. You know, and that's what this World Cup will do for West Ham. That will it will give us a chance to hit the reset button, because it couldn't have got any worse before we went. So we want to see Paqueta get some minutes and, you know, get some confidence. Same as Rice, same as Aguirre. Where else we've got Areola, Kehrer as well. He's been having a terrible time at club level. You know, sometimes these little international breaks give him a little bit of a chance to sort of hit the refresh button and, you know, come back. We need to come back better. That's what we will do. Well, I don't know whether we've spoke about this, but what happens if, like, Rice, Paqueta, and say Kehrer get to like the semi-final, final? Like, what do they get? Time off for coming back? Or
they get 2 weeks, don't they? So you won't see Rice at Arsenal. Whatever, like, obviously, depending if England get in a group, then you will see him at Arsenal. But I think that's why I think it's they should have delayed it by another week. I think Boxing Day's too quick to come back. I mean, Arsenal will be missing players as well, so you know. But just quickly, Matt. I mean, there's other players that we haven't even mentioned yet. Phil Foden, you know, players like that. Mason Mount, you know, Jack Grealish. You know, there's a lot of talent in that England squad. But so there's going to be a lot of players. I mean, the further England go on, that Premier League first weekend back will be like reserve games for most teams. So yeah, we definitely won't be seeing Declan Rice. So come on down.
If they don't go out in the fucking group stage, I've seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If England do well, Conor Gallagher's another one. I forgot about him.
Yeah, England will make it out of the group, no problem. There won't be a problem now.
Yeah, do you know what? As I said, I think USA will be a big test for us. Wales. Thing is with Wales, like, look, they've got some half decent players, but I just don't think England will have a problem. And this might come back to haunt me, but I just don't think it won't be easy. I'm not saying that, but England. I mean, we might turn up to that game. We might turn up to that game, and we might not need the win against Wales. So
what I don't want to see us turn up against Wales the way we did turn up against Scotland in the Euros. You know, Wales beating us in that group game would be like them winning the World Cup, just like it was for Scotland getting a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Scott, these other home nations step it up against England.
Yeah,
because I mean, they go on. I see it the other day. I was like, they go on about Declan Rice and Grealish that turned their backs on Ireland and that. Well, you look at Wales squad; I think they've got 12 players that were born in England. So,
and that's the thing. But this is where we've got to turn up with the right attitude. You know, you saw in the Euros against Scotland, and I think Roy Keane touched on it in the punditry that you've got players like Declan Rice picking up Scottish players off the floor. You know, because they've fouled him and stuff like that. You know, I don't want to see that against Wales. It's a home nation, right? It's a rivalry. Leave them on the floor in agony.
Yeah,
you know, that's what it's about. It's not about being friendly with them.
It's the same in the Premier League, mate, with London derbies. There's one thing that pisses me off is when you see players handshaking and cuddling in the tunnel before. No. Fuck all that.
Exactly. That's the thing is, after the game, not a problem. Once all said and done and dusted. But as soon as you walk on that pitch, you're enemies. And treat each other like enemies. Because then you're going to go and win the game.
So I'm saying England A versus England B, Ryan. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying England A versus England C.
Well, Wales have always had. Unfortunately for Wales, over the past few decades, they've had a lot of English players in there. You know, one of the best players was English.
I know they got further than us in 2016, but they had their best team and we had our worst team and we still beat them 2-1. And Sturridge scored the winner. Just saying. Now, look. I'm taking the piss a bit, like mucking about, but it will be a tough game against Wales. You know, when they've got players like Gareth Bale, you know, who can, you know, he can win a game on his own. I know he's not the Gareth Bale of 5 years ago, but it's still Gareth Bale, just like Ronaldo for Portugal.
Yeah.
And I know someone asked a question there about our feelings on the Ronaldo situation. I don't know if you want to talk about that. I mean, it's a right random show tonight. There's no West Ham, so we've got to talk about. I think. Go on.
No. Go on, mate.
No, I was just going to say with the Ronaldo situation. I mean, like, I think he's a fucking idiot, to be honest. And I know what he's done in the game. It don't give him the right to go on TV with Piers Morgan demanding this, that, and the other, slagging every player's off, slagging players like Rooney off. When Rooney, I watched the interview, Rooney didn't say anything bad. Rooney just said we all get to that age where you're not going to find yourself in the first team. And he's been an unbelievable servant. You know, for him to then go out. I mean, Ronaldo's at that time of his career now where he knows it's coming to an end. He's had a great career, one of the best players we've ever seen play. He knows he's coming to an end, and he can't handle that fact that he's got to let go of football. He can't handle that fact that he's never going to play in a couple of years. He won't be playing football again. And it's hard for some players. But it's not like he's skint. It's not like he's skint. He can go on and have another career. I'm sure he will. He'll do something else. But to come out and start slagging off the youngsters at the football club, you know, the managers, you know, he should have left. He should have left last season.
But he's. I think he said all this because he knows he's going in January.
Yeah, but I don't. And Scott, the thing is, like with players like Ronaldo, as I said, they can't handle the fact that they are gonna finish playing football. You know, Rooney finished playing a couple of years ago. You didn't see him come out slagging off his teammates. Gary Neville's had to do it. There's a lot of players, and it's the way that he comes out and he don't like it, people giving him criticism. It's not it's constructive criticism sometimes. Like what Gary Neville said about him wasn't bad, but then he goes on national TV and mugs Gary Neville off.
The thing is with him, he's been the forefront of every team he's played for, right? And now Man United are transitioning, and they're a team that are better without him than they are with him. And this is the thing. At the end of the day, no one player makes a team, you know. And unfortunately for Ronaldo, his attitude that he's bigger than the football club. It's
not even that, mate. It's the fact that he's ruined his legacy a bit at United.
Of course, yes. He should never have gone back there. Right?
On him. If he wants to do an interview like that, do it when you've left the club. You know, because now he's never going to play, and he's got his wish now. He will get sacked.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about losing a bit of money because he's a multi-millionaire anyway.
Exactly. You know, at the end of the day, there's the ways and means and going about it, and he should have left a bit more graciously. He shouldn't have gone back there in the first place. He didn't want to go there. He wanted to go City. You know, but out of respect to Ferguson, he went back there.
Yeah, but the thing is that's obviously because he's got his loyalties to United, and rightly so.
I don't think United. I think it was Ferguson.
He scored over 20 goals.
Yeah. No, look, last season United needed him. This season they don't, and that's the big thing about it for him. You know, he's been the main man for so long. He can't take not being the main man.
Yeah, but all footballers' careers come to an end at some point.
Oh, exactly, mate. Exactly, and that's when you then start winding down. If you want to continue playing, drop down the leagues, go to the MLS, as we've seen, you know, other players do. Wind yourself down. Don't, you know? All right, he wants to play in the top tournaments. He wants to play, especially leading up to this World Cup. You know, he wanted to be playing at a high level, playing top tournaments, things like that. But like you said, you're getting older, so graciously bail out. You know, either drop out at the top level, as you saw with, you know, the likes of Gary Neville, retired, never went and played for anyone else other than Man United. Like with Noble, never played for anyone else. You know, he's retired from West Ham. That's it. He's done from football. So you have you either, right, that's my career done. I'm not playing no more. Or like you see other professionals do, drop down a league or go and play in a different country. You know,
Ronaldo's still good enough for me personally to go and play somewhere else. You know, I always thought they'd end up going back to Sporting Lisbon. Maybe he can go out and play in Germany or something like that. You know, because the Premier League is a tough league. It's a tough league. And he's 37 now. And look, and I know he's looked after himself. And as I said, he could probably play to his 40, but not in the Premier League, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm with you, mate. I'm with you there. But the thing is, the one thing I do agree with what he said is about the youngsters. You know, youngsters nowadays, they don't know what it's like. You know, they play 2 games and class themselves as a professional football player earning 60, 70 grand a week.
Well, we see that with Reece Oxford, didn't we?
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no harm in the players, the young players. You know, when we was at that E13 event the other day, and you listen to what them players went through when they were younger, what the things that they had to do, whether it was painting the fence or marking out the pitch or cutting the grass. You know, young players now don't know they're born. when they get into football because they're pampered from the moment they set foot into them football clubs. And sometimes if they've got the right attitude, they flourish. Other times, like Reece Oxford, they crash and burn.
There's I said this. Sorry, I just put a fucking bubble gum in. I said this last season with him, with Ronaldo. He's got too much of an ego for that dressing room. Like people said, just give me a little comment here, Sam. I'm sorry, but you don't have a clue what you're talking about. If it wasn't for Ronaldo, Man United would be in the Championship.
That's last season. We said last season. Man United, they
wouldn't be in the Championship.
Ronaldo. No, but Man United needed Ronaldo last season. They don't need him this season. That's the difference. They're a better team this season.
He's got a lot. He's got a lot to give to any team. He's got ability, but what you can't have, and it's ever since the new managers come in as well. What you can't have is a player, whether he's the best player in the world or a kid just coming through the academy, walking around a football club, disrespecting everybody that's there. Whether you're doing it the right way, the wrong way, and all this sort of thing. You cannot have a geezer walking around a football club. The manager tells you this is the sort of things he's been doing. Manager tells you to come in and do a training session with the first team. At 10 o'clock. He goes in at 9 o'clock and trains with the under-21s and goes home before the manager gets there. How could you have someone playing for that? How can any? I mean, this is the problem with Man United fans. I think Ronaldo knows this as well. If any player had done that at West Ham, whether it be the best or the worst player, the fans would not have it. The fans would not have that sort of thing. You know what I mean? With Pint was brilliant. As soon as he'd done that, every single fan that you know said, fuck off, don't come back and play for us. If you're not good enough, to follow our protocols, you're not good enough to play for our football club. The problem Man United have got is they've got fans because of him. Do you know what I mean? They've got fans because he's there and because he was there before. And so they will back him. And I think he was gambling a little bit, Ronaldo, in doing that interview.
No, that was Ivan Toney.
Huh?
That was Ivan Toney doing the gambling.
He thought that the public opinion would be for him. He doesn't want to play for Manchester United again under Ten Hag. He doesn't want to. He wants to go. He wants to leave. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done that interview. And I think he sort of gambled a little bit by doing this interview, thinking, well, I'll leave because the club will force me out, but the club are going to look like the bad guys. People are going to support Cristiano Ronaldo. And, when I leave, people will be on my side. But it ain't gone all his way, but there will be people that only listen to him. You can't. Michael Quinn he made some good points. What good points? What good points did he do?
About the youngsters, that was a good point.
The one thing we don't obviously look. He's been through a tough time personally. He's been through something that no parent should go through. He obviously his son died, and you don't know how that's affecting him mentally. There is something off with Ronaldo. He doesn't seem the same, and maybe that is affecting him. And maybe we should take that into account a little bit. But it would not surprise me now that they cancel his contract and he will sign for another Premier League team. Just to play against United. It would surprise me if he went City, maybe Arsenal. It would not surprise me. Listen, I'll take him at West Ham.
He was definitely fucking pointing towards a move to Arsenal.
Yeah, and you know what?
I don't know what.
Chelsea, right? There's a comment. I forgot to click it up, but there's a comment that says that our opinion would change if he was coming to West Ham. My opinion on his interview is my opinion on his interview. My opinion on his attitude towards and the disrespect towards a Man United manager and his teammates is my opinion. Would I take him at West Ham? 100%, because he's a world-class player. There's no doubt he's not his ability. No one's doubting that. But
buzzing to see Ronaldo sign for West Ham and Moyes starting right back.
But what he's done is wrong. There's no change in thingy. What he's done in that interview, coming out slagging off the manager and criticising things like that, that's wrong. Like I said, criticising the youngsters for their attitude and the things. I totally agree with that.
I think Gaz is
that are wrong.
A United fan because he says Man United only want Ronaldo when they struggle, but are quick enough to hang him out to dry. Well, they were struggling at the beginning of the season; they weren't playing him. So that ain't true. There's something off. There's a breakdown in a relationship there.
He just doesn't get on with the manager, and the manager doesn't think he doesn't press. Their manager wants to press.
Well, the thing is, though, Scott, you look at that. The manager made him captain not less than 2 weeks ago against Aston Villa. So it's to make him captain as well. I don't know if the managers maybe might have a little bit of an ego boost that, he says, I'm the main, which the managers should always be the main man at a football club. No one's bigger than the manager, It's, I don't know. It was, I haven't watched the full interview. I've only seen clips, but I will watch it. I'll watch it over the weekend. I'm having a catch-up weekend this weekend. I've got Jack Mate's podcast to watch with Mark Noble. I've got other things that I've got to watch. So I'm having a catch-up weekend. So I will watch it.
Usual suspect, just touching on that 6-month contract at West Ham, you would be entirely different. It wouldn't. If he was talking, look, I don't give a fuck what he says about Man United. That's down to Man United and whatever. But if he was.
He slagged off Man United's training facilities. Imagine what he's going to see.
Yeah, I know. He's going to turn up to the porter cabins and
that geezer would pull in, see our facilities, and do a U-turn.
Straight back out. I think I'm in the wrong place.
It'd be like that. What's a porter cabin?
But yeah, my opinion of him, if he was playing for West Ham, my opinion would not change on the interview. You should not do that to any club. Especially one that you're playing for now. As I said, like point and case, Dimitri Payet. When Dimitri Payet started refusing to train with West Ham and play for West Ham and all that sort of thing, did I turn around and go, oh, no, actually, no, I'm going to stick with Dimitri Payet because he's a good player? No, I told him, I said, like the rest of the West Ham fans, fuck off. If you don't want to play for us, piss off.
Yeah, I think obviously the Payet situation was a lot different. And to be fair to Payet, he still got his head down, played. I know he refused to train sometimes, but he still turned up and played for us. And, and he ended up going, and that was for family reasons. He could have.
Did he play?
At that time, huh?
Did he play?
Yeah, he played all up until he went on strike.
He didn't even go on strike, Scott. He played up until we sold him in January. He played most games. He scored that wonder goal against Middlesbrough.
Well, what was the game? I was coming to meet, driving home from work with Graham to jump on the train to come to football, and Payet's in the traffic next to me, going home. Because he just finished training with the under-23s. Because we kicked out the under-23s.
Payet was told to train with the youth. He still turned up to training, and he carried on. He went for family. At that time, Payet was probably the best player in Europe, and he could have gone anywhere. 100%. He went back to Marseille for family reasons.
Exactly.
So.
No, that's it, mate. Look, he had his off the field troubles that were probably caused by himself, and he had to go back to Marseille.
Well, he couldn't keep his little dimmy in his pants, could he?
This is it.
That's what happened. We all know.
Made a little dimmy, didn't he?
Little dimmy diet.
and that's the thing, he that's why he went back to Marseille. So he thought our hands were tied. He could have gone anywhere in Europe. He could have gone Madrid. He could have gone anywhere. He was the best player, and look, he lit up that Euros in 2016. Was it 2016? Yeah, it was 2016, wasn't it? He lit up that Euros, and yeah, look what he done. And but listen, we'll always have their memories of Dimitri Payet, one of the best players I've ever seen put on a West Ham shirt. 100%, 100%, and that's it. You've got to try and remember there was a lot of good that outweighed the bad that went on. And it'll be the same. It's like touching back on Ronaldo. It's the same sort of thing. There's a lot of good what Ronaldo done for United that what he's done wrong should be forgotten about in the future.
Let's just put it this way: without Man United, Ronaldo would probably never have been the player or never had the career that he had because they picked him up. They played a friendly against Sporting Lisbon. The players told him, Alex Ferguson, sign this kid. They signed him. He had a great career at United. He went on to Madrid, broke so many records, won 5 Champions Leagues or whatever it was. He's had a great career. He's won the Euros for Portugal. The dream for him would be to go out winning the World Cup for Portugal. You can never. People will still be talking about Ronaldo in 100 years' time, just as they will with Messi. He's that sort of player. So it's just
yeah. He's the Pele and Maradona of this generation of football.
But Nicky is voicing his opinion. Everyone has the right to have a voice. Ronaldo does not like the pain that Man United causing him. He's a legend and a Grand Slam champion. Okay.
Yeah, no, and listen, I agree. I agree with that. I do agree.
We've always said it. We're big advocates on here that everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, but you can't really start saying it when you're employed by a fucking football club.
I think the interview was probably. I think the interview was probably right for him, but at the wrong time. You shouldn't do that when you're employed by the football club. It's like me. It's like me going on here tonight and slagging off my work. Give me 2 more beers and I fucking will. No, I'm joking.
No, that's it.
Yeah, and listen, that's the thoughts on Cristiano Ronaldo.
Still looking forward to him playing in the World Cup, though, I must have.
Joe Eaton says, Payet was a baller, to be fair, not as good as Ozil, though, your faults. He was better than Ozil that season by a long way.
I think
by a long way.
Yeah, Payet at that time was untouchable. I think, listen, Ozil was a genius.
He was class as well. Ozil was class.
I even said, I think when Ozil was born, he assisted the nurse. That's how good he was. He assisted the nurse because he just used to assist everyone. He's a brilliant player, Ozil. It's a shame that his career sort of faded out because he could have been, he could have gone to the very, very top.
Someone's asking about your thoughts on John Fury. I've started. You want to fight my son? Come and fight me.
He went off at Jake. Was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? One of them. He took his shirt off and everything. Yeah, he's a character. He's a character, John Fury. I've been lucky enough to meet him before. He is a character. He loves boxing. Obviously he's Tyson. His son Tyson, Tommy. Obviously, he had an exhibition fight because I think he come in overweight for his fight. But yeah, the way he went off, I think that they just want that fight against one of the Paul brothers. I think Tommy wants it just to get his popularity back up. I mean, Tyson doesn't need it, but for me, last weekend was all about seeing my main man, Ricky Hatton, back in the ring. I know it was an exhibition, but just to see Ricky Hatton one more time in that ring, it was good. And I love his entrance to the ring. He come out with 2 nurses and he had like a walking stick. But I tell you what shape he's got in. Unbelievable.
He's mad, isn't he? Harry, when he stopped training, how he used to just balloon up.
But a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
it's crazy, mate. It's his genes, isn't it? But fair play to him, and Ricky Hatton's in a good place now. A lot of people talk about Tyson Fury and his mental health, but Ricky Hatton had it just as bad, and he didn't even speak to his parents. And it was nice to see them at ringside. He's got his family back together. It was good. It was a good weekend of boxing last weekend to see. But yeah, as for John Fury, he's just a nutter. But he's a nutter that we love having in boxing. We love seeing characters like that.
Malden Hammer says, Nicky, what do you think of Mo Lester? Doesn't touch me the right way, to be honest. Yeah, nothing.
Bit touchy.
Touchy. Yeah.
Get off me, Mo.
WHU's. Let's get some questions in because we're gonna cut it soon. So, get some questions.
Cut it soon. I've still got half a beer left.
All right, we'll wait for Ryan to finish his beer and then we'll go.
I've got a bottle of Baileys to crack open. It's Christmas, mate.
Steve WHU Bills donate £4.49. Thank you very much. Do you think Tony wasn't picked due to the betting allegations against him? Weird, really, as he wasn't playing. He was still playing football league.
100%. 100%. I think that's the reason why he wasn't picked. He had that hanging over his head. Yeah. Obviously, it's come out. He had 283 different things that like that. Saying ain't right, but
Is it? To be fair, I think it's one of the. It's got to be the reason why he weren't left out, because what he's done for Brentford and what he brings, he would have been perfect to come into that England squad and be a different striker to the Wilson and Harry Kane. So I think it's got to be. I think we know, like you see in boxing, people know things before they come out in the media and the press and stuff. So I think Southgate knew that was there, and that's why they knew it was going to come out at this time. Imagine him being out there now, and this come out now. It's going to be off-putting in his preparation for the World Cup. So, by the looks of it, if Southgate did know, he's done the right thing not picking him.
I got to just quickly. Amma's saying Ryan is the type to slow down. He's put thinking but drinking. I think he's been drinking to Avif paying for the next round. Wink, wink. He don't know me, mate. He don't know me because I'm getting the shots in all fucking night long. I'm slowing down to try to keep the entertainment going because Nicky wants to end the show early, so I'm just trying to keep it flowing. Love you, Emma.
Geordie Toon for life. Sorry, I'm reading. Apart from Rice, who do you think will be England's best player at the World Cup? Yes, goals count, but overall play, I think it would be Bellingham. I think Bellingham's going to be the standout.
Bellingham or Phil Foden for me. I think them two. I'm excited to see them two play.
I'm going to have an outside punt, and he ain't played well for Chelsea. I'm going to go Mason Mount.
It's whether he gets enough game time.
I think he'll step it up for England.
Listen, I want to see them all do well. I want to see, because if everyone does well, we win the tournament. Come on, England! Oh, I fucking love it.
Anton signed for Hammer's chat. Yes, he did. We see that today. Have you watched either of the Italian 90 documentaries on Sky Documentary Channel or Channel 4? Great viewing.
No, I've recorded them. That's one of the things I'm catching up with. I've seen a lot of documentaries about Italian 90 over the years, and they always give me a buzz because I think for me, even though I was too young to sort of remember that tournament, that always gets me up for a tournament watching Italian 90. I just think the whole thing around England and Gaza and, Lineker and, we had such a great squad, and obviously the semi-final and obviously Waddle and Pierce. I love watching them documentaries. So I have got that to watch. I think, is it a 4-part series or something like that? So I will watch it. Definitely going to watch it.
It's mad. That was my first ever World Cup memory.
Yeah, it's mine as well.
See, I do remember it, but I don't remember the games, if that makes sense. I remember everyone being, England and all that, but I don't, because I was only like, what was it, Italian 90? So I'd have been just turned, 5. I was 5. So I don't really remember it, but I do remember it, if that makes sense. But I don't remember the games. My first real tournament, for England, was probably Euro 96, because we weren't there we was there in 92, Euro 92, but we were shit. World Cup 94, we weren't there.
No.
So Euro 96 was probably my first tournament where I think I was 12 at the time, so I sort of remember it more. But
that's the same for me. I think I was, when the World Cup was being played, I was 9, so I weren't even 10. And then, like you, Ryan, I remember bits and pieces in 90. I remember the semi-final quite well. And then that's it. I remember 94, us not being there. And then the next memory I've got really of England was 96.
Yeah. And to me, 96 was a tournament that it will stay with me forever, because that was such a great time.
Yeah.
So many great memories, because it was I remember sitting in my mate's flat watching it with all my mates, and, just the Gaza moment and beating Holland 4-1 and Shearer Sheringham and beating Spain on penalties and Stuart Pearce. And it was just such a great tournament. And it's one that I'll always remember. The old Wembley, obviously the national anthem against Germany. They still play that now. Every time I see that on Twitter, I get goosebumps watching it, because I think was it Paul Weller that was meant to be singing the national anthem, and the crowd just sung over him. And even the players looked down the line thinking, what's going on? And then you see all the players with their chests pumped out, like Tony Adams, Shearer, David Seaman. I love all that. I love all that. I wish our players, I know our players are a lot better now singing national anthem, but back then in '96, when the players just had their chest pumped out, proud to have that shirt on, I love all that. Love watching that.
90, I remember. 90, I remember watching one of the group. I think it was. Oh, what game did I watch? I watched it indoors, and then I remember being in like a working man's club with my mum and dad. I think it was.
Oh,
No, it wouldn't have been my dad. No, it wouldn't have been my dad. It would have been my mum and her current husband to watch the Cameroon game. Remember the Cameroon game?
Yeah.
And then I remember, I can't remember whether that was after or before the Belgium game, because that's when it really caught my attention, because you had the Platt goal, didn't you, in extra time. And I can't remember what one was first. But I remember vividly watching the semi-final at home. Like, I remember watching it from start to finish. Didn't really understand what was going on with the penalty shootout, if I'm honest. But then when everyone got a bit upset, you know, I knew he was out. I was probably about 7 at the time. You know what I mean? It was just one of them ones that's what proper got me into football.
What are some, like, let's talk, what are some of your like favourite ever England moments? Doesn't have to be like tournaments, it could be anything. I mean, for me, one that always stands out was 5-1 in Germany. I remember watching that around your house, Nick.
Yeah. I remember that.
The 4-1 against Holland in the Euro '96.
I didn't watch that. I missed that one. And I missed that one and the Scotland one because my fucking stupid cousin got
Scotland one. The Scotland one, that was good. The Gazza's goal.
Yeah, I missed that because my fucking stupid cousin was getting christened.
Yeah, 5-1 against Germany was unreal. You know,
especially in their own backyard as well.
I think obviously, I know we lost the game at the end, but funny enough, I was watching it earlier, the highlights of it when we played Argentina when Owen scored that fucking unbelievable goal. You know, what a player he was. To think he was only 18 at the time and he done that against.
I think
that was a good Argentina side as well.
I liked the last World Cup.
Yeah. The
last World Cup. Just going from work to that pub in Stratford that we was going in every week, right? Remember?
Yeah.
We was in that little pub in Stratford, just sitting in there.
Queen's Head,
yeah, just sitting in there watching the fucking football over and over. And that's what I like about football, because it's summer, you know what I mean? Like, and I remember coming out there, fucking staggering out there after every game. You know,
German kebab,
and fucking, and then home. You know what I mean? Like in the middle of the week, and we done well because we got to the semi-final. So yeah. I remember the Iceland one in 2016. Yeah, I remember that.
Terrible.
Yeah, but yeah, I like the summer World Cup. This is why this is going to be a bit weird for me, but
yeah, it's going to be a weird tournament for everyone. But I'm still looking forward to it. You know, I'm looking forward to going out, and that's one thing for me. Tournaments are about being down the pub. Like if you're old enough, obviously, being down the pub with your mates, your family. Just like the last Euros. I mean, I went to my local. You know, I watched every game in there, and obviously they were some of the best times. You know, just I love meeting random people, and just you're all there for England. Don't matter who you support club wise, you're all there for England, and it's a special time, tournaments, and you know, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it, but
I like the Euros as well. We was in the what's that fucking pub called? What was it called then? The Langfong.
The Langford, that was the shit Euros, wasn't it?
Shit Euros, yeah, but it was good.
That was when we lost to Iceland. Then we just got on the karaoke and then got ruined the night by Wednesday O'Neill, and I broke my leg.
Yeah, I remember that.
I decided to dive on a road sign that was fucking cemented into the floor, and I bounced off.
What was the one where you celebrated and bashed your leg?
Fuck no, Scott. I always seem to hurt my leg when we score. I remember when we scored the winner against Wales and I lost my shoe. And Graham was with me that day.
I was there.
Typical Graham turned up 2 minutes to go. But I lost my shoe. But listen, I love watching England with me, mate. Do you remember, I'll tell you a good World Cup memory for me. going all the way back 20 years ago now, 2002. We just beat Denmark. Just beat Denmark in the quarterfinal. Was it? No, the last round, round of 32.
16.
And we beat them 3-1. I think I had Rio to score first, England to win 3-1. Nicky had Owen to score first, 3-1.
Yeah.
And obviously Rio headed it and Owen tapped it in, but it was a bit of controversy over who scored, but they paid out for both.
Yeah, that's
we
right,
both got our money. Bearing in mind, I threw my betting slip, and when I found out they was paying for Rio, I ran back to the pub and got it. And then Nicky, Mr. Nicky Hawkins there, decided to go to do you remember the inn shops in Stratford?
Mm.
The old, like, not obviously Westfield, the old shopping centre. They used to have the most dodgiest tattoo shop in the world. And Nicky decided to get the St. George flag tattooed on his chest because we won. And we thought we was going to win the tournament. Hey, look, show us. I told you, 20 years in the making.
Fucking look at that, man.
And then what made me laugh, he got that, and then he went and got that dodgy Chinese. Remember that dodgy Chinese that used to be there?
Yeah. The one in the stall, they used to have it fucking all wrapped up in the front. Yeah.
But that was another good tournament as well, because that was the first tournament that I really went out drinking with my mates, like in the pub, to watch it. And hello, Andy.
Hello, Andy.
But yeah, no, it's good. I love England. I love the way the country, especially like obviously during the summer, it's different because everyone's in beer gardens and fan zones, and we won't probably have that this year. But listen, it's not exactly cold out, is it? So as long as it don't rain, there will be people walking around in like fucking in beer gardens and just enjoying it. So
might have a barbecue.
That's the thing. The thing is, it's one of those. As long as it don't rain, people will be out there in beer gardens watching the football. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be one of the first ones. Well, the first one that Cody will probably remember. You know, he saw some of the last Euros, but now he's 6. He's getting more into his football. He loves Declan Rice. Yeah, I took him to his first West Ham game the other day. Luckily, he didn't turn him into a Palace fan and how bad we were. But
we lost.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to watching the games with him and him understanding what's going on now.
Yeah. No, and that's what it's all about, mate. It's about...
We'll be looking at the ceiling after 20 minutes, mate.
That's what it's all about. Family time with your mates, enjoying it. So who would you say is the greatest England player you've ever seen? Who's been the most enjoyable to watch?
I've ever seen.
That you've seen live, like...
Gascoigne.
I'm with you, Nick.
Gascoigne. When I watched Gascoigne, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Listen, for me, Gascoigne's probably one of the greatest talents this country's ever produced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's one of my favourite all-time players. You know, I love watching him. I love watching his documentaries. I love watching him play. You know, obviously, I wasn't around to see the likes of Bobby Moore, Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters play, but they're on the wall now. And that's what generations need. They need to be reminded of players that have come before and why the players are where they are now because of players like that, and even go back further than Hurst, Moore, and Peters. But for me, Gazza. Yeah, there's just been so
Shearer
many.
was good.
Shearer, Stevie G, John Terry, in his prime was one of the best centre backs this country's ever produced.
There was some good players, but Gazza just had that something different about him. You know, we've had some talent since if you look from 90s onwards, we've had a lot of talent in that side that never went on to do anything. But Gazza, for me, is just outstanding compared to all the others. You got your Beckhams, you got your Lampards, your Gerrards.
Beckham. The thing is with David Beckham, I think he's a bit underrated as a football player. I think he gets too much. People think about his lifestyle off the pitch more than what he was on the pitch, and he was a great player. Beckham.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It was with him in the end. You remember the brand Beckham more than you remember Beckham the player.
Most excited I've ever been watching a football is like a player for England was Rooney, 2004.
I was just about to say Rooney. Rooney 2004 was honestly, I think at that time, probably one of the best players in the world. He went to that tournament like he was playing five-a-side over Power League. He ripped that tournament up, and if he would never have got injured against Portugal, we'd have won that tournament without doubt.
I think so as well.
100%. England joy to watch. Him and Michael Owen together in that tournament was unreal.
Yeah,
unreal.
Yeah, and that's a disappointing thing, mate. We've had, when you look at that talent, even if you go back to the '96, even go back to the '90s, some of the players that we had, for us not to win a major tournament with that wealth of talent of players that we've had over the years, it's quite shameful, really, isn't it? When you look at it,
people go on about the golden generation and that they didn't connect it, but you got to look at the teams that were around them.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. There was some very good teams.
That Brazil team of 2002 was unreal. Yeah. Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Carlos, Ronaldo. They were untouchable. And whatever you say about Ronaldinho's goal, which was a cross, by the way, he never meant that. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I watched it again on that Ronaldo documentary. There's no way he meant that. No. But, he was a genius of a football player.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. And, maybe it was timing. Maybe it was the players didn't gel. It's just, for me, I just think it's just a shame that we never went on to win anything.
Yeah, but you know what? I think if England go on to win, like if we'd have won the Euros last summer,
that
would have meant more because of the squad, because they weren't expected to win it. I think when we're not expected to win anything,
we do better.
If we go on to win this World Cup, it would be, obviously it'd be on par with 1966 because it's the same achievement, but I think it's more of an achievement because
you wasn't expecting anything of the squad.
Wasn't expecting. I mean, England. Listen, I wasn't born in 1966, but I don't know what the expectations were of the country at the time. But I know there was a good Brazil side then, there was a good Portugal side. But England went on to win it, and England had a great team. And listen, England, for me, that 1966 team will always be spoken about in future generations, long after we're gone. Because they were the first team, whatever happens, if England go on to win the next 6 World Cups, the 1966 team will always be the first team that done it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and the fact they've done it in their own backyard.
Yeah. And I think it's an absolute disgrace that this country's never hosted another World Cup since then.
Yeah, that's the truth, mate. Especially when they've seen where the last couple have been.
The thing is, I know we had the Euros sort of last time, but if Qatar sort of said they can't host it tomorrow, like the World Cup, England could host that World Cup next week because we've got everything in place to do it.
I think what have they done? They've put one together for England, Ireland, and Scotland, and they or Wales.
Yeah, they've done like a joint bid for which. Do you know what? It's sort of.
It'd probably be the only way we get it again.
No, but you're talking about USA and Canada getting it again. No disrespect, they had it in '94. USA.
They got it. Yeah. They got it next one, didn't they?
Yeah. I think is it the next one or the one after?
It's the next one. I'm thinking it's the next one. USA, Canada, and Mexico, isn't it?
And there's been what Mexico had 70 and
86, I think.
86.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know why England ain't. We should have had the one that went to Russia. We should have definitely had this one, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, there's no. There's no more passionate fans than England fans, and I think they proved that last year in the Euros. So I'm hoping that we do in my lifetime be able to host another World Cup.
I'm not sure that final last year done us any favours, to be honest.
Yeah, but that was just down to idiots. That was just down to.
But unfortunately, mate, this country's fucking full of idiots.
Yeah, but most countries are, mate. Most countries are, and I don't think something like that should spoil England ever hosting another World Cup.
And the thing is that in true FIFA/UEFA style, is they would hold that against England, but it was all right for Russia to host a World Cup with their fans running around dressed in black, snatching up anyone they could get hold of. And this is the double standards that you see from these corrupt major organisations that they'll clamp down. Your fans rushed the gates at Wembley, so you're going to get done for that. But as I said, it's all right for other fans to do 10 times worse in other countries, and they still get to host major competitions. It's that UEFA, FIFA, anti-England agenda that they seem to have.
Are we going to answer the question on the screen? Thoughts on Paul Ince?
Thoughts on Paul Ince?
I've got no real thoughts on Paul Ince because I was only a kid when he played for West Ham. So as a football player, yeah, one of the best centre mids that this country's produced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. Obviously, I know what happened with West Ham, but I've got no real comments on it because I wasn't about then. So
it's a little bit different after hearing like what happened,
Yeah, he got stitched up, didn't he?
He got stitched up. Yeah, he did get stitched up, but I don't know, man. I don't really.
It's one of those things. Don't trust the people around you all the time.
Yeah.
I always like the Alvin Martin story about him. That's my favourite story about Paul Ince.
What was it?
When he was training, and he said about he was the governor, and basically Alvin Martin just nutted him one on the nose and said, "You ain't the governor here, son," and sort of put him in his place. And every time I go to an event with Alvin Martin's there and he tells that story, it always gets the biggest round of applause of the night. So, yeah. But look, as a football player, yeah, you can't knock him. He was brilliant in '96 for England and '98 as well. Just a shame he had to bottle the taking a penalty. Left it down to David Batty.
weren't the only, unfortunately, not the only England player in history to bottle a penalty, mate.
Nah. Well, and that's one player that I hope can sort of put that ghost to rest is Saka in the World Cup, because the abuse he got after was disgusting, same as Rashford and Sancho. Obviously, Sancho's not there, which is another fucking... I can't believe he's not going, to be honest. I know he ain't been great for United, but I've always liked him for England. But yeah, Saka's a talent, and I hope that he has a really good tournament for England and he can forget what happened last summer.
I'm with you, mate. Fingers crossed that's what we see. And that's what we want to see. What happened after that Euros shouldn't happen to anyone. It's bad enough them young lads have missed the penalties, and that stays with you for a long time, because it's you're always going to remember that. It's always going to be in the back of your mind.
Saka, whatever Saka does in his career now, even if he wins the World Cup, he'll never forget that moment.
No, exactly. Look at Pearce and Waddle. How long it took them to get past that fact that they missed them penalties for England in 90.
What Saka's got to be grateful for is they don't do the Pizza Hut adverts no more, because he's been around that table with them lot. and his gaffer Southgate as well.
Yeah. And look, they'll get over it. It'll be forgotten if they go on and win this World Cup. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Any more questions?
Any questions in? Ask us anything. Get them in now. Yeah, Ince did think he was Billy Big Bollocks, and I've heard a lot of people that played with Ince at the time that he walked in and he said, "I'm the governor around here," and he got put in his place.
Which English player do you dislike the most in the EPL? Do you like the most on the national team? Right now,
I don't really hate any players. One player that I do like and I want to see more of is Jack Grealish. I know he gets a lot of hate, but I think I really like Jack Grealish, not as a player, but just as a person. I think he's down to earth. He's a fan that just plays for the love of the game. And I know he can be arrogant and he chucks himself to the floor sometimes, and that pisses people off. But he is a talent, and Yeah, I suppose Harry Kane's hating for Tottenham, loving for England.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
hate
it.
him though.
I don't hate Harry Kane.
Oh,
I
don't
hate
hate
when
him.
he scores against us for Tottenham.
Yeah,
Of course I
he
do.
pisses me off, but
But he's another one. He's going to break Rooney's record probably during this World Cup. So, and he'll be our highest goal scorer of all time. And he's still only 28, 29. So he's still got another 3 or 4 years. So
He's the one I least like, who I like for England. The player I least like the most is Jordan Henderson. I don't like him for England. So.
I don't really hate anyone.
No, exactly. Hate's a strong word. There's only probably a few people on the planet that I could say I actually hate.
I just want them to do well.
Yeah. I don't get that. At the end of the day, as an England fan, whoever pulls on that shirt, you want them to do well. Whether you dislike them because they play for Spurs, they play for Arsenal, anyone like that. When anyone pulls on that England shirt, I'm an England fan, so I want them to do well.
Yeah, I've always been like that. I don't care who you play for as a football club. When you play for England, you're England. I'll celebrate a Kane goal all day long.
Yeah,
if we're winning. I couldn't give a
Listen,
shit. I'm not like some Arsenal fans that won't celebrate an Harry Kane goal
exactly.
for Tottenham. I couldn't give two bollocks if he plays for Tottenham. If he scored for England, I'm celebrating. I'm doing the conga. You know, I don't care. But yeah. As long as they're doing well. It's when we go out of the tournament I hate them.
WHUFC 66. What do you guys think of Twitter potentially collapsing?
I don't think it'll collapse. I think it's too big.
It's not looking good, mate.
And if it does, it will come back as a different name. It's too big of a platform to collapse, because if he collapses it, someone else will just take it over. Someone else will make another one up.
He owns it. But the thing is, he's gone in there like fucking gung-ho, and he's basically trying to fucking make everyone work till their fucking fingers are bleeding. And
so
the thing is, mate, as big as a platform it is, if you can't get people to work for you, it can't run.
No, from what I get of it, he actually wants people to go into the office and work and do proper 40-hour weeks instead of sitting at home and only doing like 3 hours or 4 hours a day. He wants them to do proper working days.
Basically, he wants people to actually earn their money.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're the boss, he's got every right to do that.
Exactly. That's it. So look, at the end of the day, if he wants you to work, go do your work. It's what you're paid to do. Do you know what I mean?
By the sound of it, some of these people have had an easy ride over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I think a lot of them have, though, right, when it comes to that sort of tech industry.
Well, you now you got to fucking earn your money. Get in the office if that's what he wants.
He's the boss at the end of the day, whether you like him or not. If he's your governor, you do what you're told.
Well, if we'll quit, so.
Well, as much as they quit, mate, there'll be people jumping at a chance to go and work for a company like
I'm sure. And for a man like Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly. He won't be short of CVs coming through the door.
There's in probably 90% of jobs, if not more, you're just a number, and there's always someone out there who'll replace you.
I don't get the blue tick nonsense, so I don't get all that.
It was the egos of people on Twitter. Like, they've got a blue tick and they're showing off. I'm like, yeah, but you're paying for it, mate.
You are now, yeah.
Like, you're paying $6.99 a month for it. Like, it was a stupid idea because obviously people were pretending to be celebrities and conning people, and I just don't get it. I would never pay I wouldn't even pay 10 pence a month to have a blue tick. I actually felt proud not to have a tick next to my name.
You do get them if you're I don't know what's the word. If you're like an account that could be deemed as like an important account in terms of news and all that, and then there's obviously the blue ticks to stop people from imitating celebrities and all that sort of thing. I don't think they pay, but all of a sudden they've just allowed it for everyone to pay this $6.99, and everyone's got the same blue tick. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like it actually does the opposite to what the fucking thing was invented for now. You know, everyone's got this fucking blue tick. Even that geezer called Claret Carpet the West Ham geezer's got a blue tick. You know what I mean? Like it's. I don't know. I don't see the fucking
I just
point in
think
that.
that comes down to people's egos as well. Like, oh, look at me, I got a blue tick. I'm like, mate, I couldn't give a shit if you got blue tick, blue carpet, blue car. I couldn't give a shit.
It's good to have a way of showing it is the person that it is, and not someone imitating and not some fake account. But
what? So the geezer that's paid for a blue tick, his name's Claret Carpet. He's got a picture of Angelo Ogbonna, no other fucking photos, and his name's Claret Carpet, and he's got a blue tick. So what's he proven?
Yeah, that's the silly thing.
You see what happened with the fake Craig Dawson account? He ended up getting suspended because he got the blue tick, and then he started posting things about, oh, I should be in the England squad over certain defender. People are thinking that's the real Craig Dawson.
Yeah,
made the news, and everyone's saying, oh, look at Craig Dawson's like, and it wasn't even Craig Dawson, and he ended up getting suspended for it. So that's what I'm saying. You're going to impersonate. Like you could play on someone that might have like issues. You could like DM them, say, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking whoever,
David Beckham,
blah blah blah. Send me this and that," and people will do it because that's what people do. And yeah, it's just stupid. Like I'm happy not having a blue. I don't need a blue tick.
I remember someone messaged me on Facebook before. And it was like, oh, hello, it's Beyonce here, or something like that. Can you lend me £10,000 quickly? Yeah. I'll give it back to you next week. I was like, say it. Ridiculous like that.
Hello, mate, it's Kanye West. Lend me 30 quid. Like Kanye West.
It's like I'm stuck somewhere and I need like 50 quid or whatever. And I'll give you a ticket and, pay you back next week or whatever. But some cunt would have done it.
Honestly, mate, when I heard Twitter was going down, I was trying to find my old MySpace login. I thought I had to go back.
It's not going to, it won't crash. It's not going to crash. A man like Elon Musk ain't going to spend that amount of money on something and let it die. So he's, it'll survive.
John said, go outdoors and have a life. All right, John.
Tony's just said, did you hear about Jimmy Walker getting the assistant manager's job for the West Ham women? I did. I spoke to him earlier. He's buzzing. He was a goalkeeper coach for him, and obviously he's done a few bits for the club. Obviously does the corporate on the day, but yeah, it's good. It's good that he's going to be linking up with obviously Konchesky as well, and they're doing well. The women, they're doing well at the moment, and it's good. It's good to see obviously Jimmy back at the club full time, obviously as the women's assistant manager. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. He's buzzing for it. More nights out in Romford, he said.
No more of them fucking nights out. Someone threw a glass at me, so I threw my Big Mac over the fence.
Yeah, some kind of had a gherkin on their head for no reason at all. Matt saying, did we watch Jack Mate's video on the West Ham channel? I think it was the one with Declan Rice, Ben Johnson, and mate Flynn Downs.
I ain't seen it yet. I watched it.
It's when they do the eating challenges. They eat something from Iran, something from the USA, and something obviously from England. Yeah, it was a good video.
I've not seen it yet, so I can't comment.
They're saying, I think from Iran, it was something like a kebab, which looked nice, and then they had something called fizzy milk or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Don't know what that was, but it didn't go down well. Then Declan Rice looked at a hot dog like it was the worst thing in the world. I know he's Mr. Fitness and Mr. Premier League, but come on, Dec. Get the hot dog down your neck.
That should have been the easiest one to eat out of all of them.
I can't remember what the England one was. Oh no, it was Wales.
Yeah,
it was Wales, Iran, and USA. It wasn't England, and I think the Wales one was like cheese on toast or something like that, like some Welsh cheese or something. Yeah, not like Dairy Lee spread, Scott. It was like some proper Welsh cheese. So.
I'm surprised they didn't have cheese on the hot dog because Americans love cheese on things.
They did have. I can't remember what the hot dog was now. I think it was it looked like one from the stadium. To be fair, it did look like one of the ones they sell at the stadium with all that dry onion on it and gherkins and
yeah.
bit of mustard, and that's it. Welsh rare bit. Do you know what? When you say that, that always reminds me of that time when I took my mate Gareth, and he'll hate me for saying this story. We went to a restaurant called Wendy's in Lakeside, and he sat down. I went to order. He went, "I can't eat this shit." What are you talking about? He went, "I can't eat this." And he went, "I'm not eating rabbit." I went, "Rabbit? I'm going to sell fucking rabbit in fucking Wendy's." I looked at it and said, "Rare bit." Do you know what? He's actually, I spoke to him earlier. He's actually started up his own YouTube channel for amateur boxers. Second Out Gym TV, which is brilliant. As we discussed, like amateur boxers don't get a lot of recognition. So yeah, if you like amateur boxing or boxing, subscribe to his channel, Second Out Gym TV.
Second Out Gym TV.
Based in Clacton, great gym, doing a great job down there. I'll be going down there just after Christmas. He's got a boxing show coming up as well that I'll be going to. So yeah, no, he's doing well. He's like the mayor of Clacton or something like that.
He's got the freedom of Clacton.
He's got the freedom. He walked around like dressed like Harry Potter the other day. He said to me.
Oh, Geordie Toon says, "Nicky, you feeling all right? You don't look so good, mate." No, I don't. I feel rough now, to be honest.
No, Nicky's just getting bored because it's all positive tonight.
No, honestly, I'm feeling a bit rough now.
If it was a negative show, if we were talking about Moyes and West Ham, he'd be buzzing, ripping the telly off the wall, chucking his headphones, kicking the window in, throwing the microphone.
It's that time of night, Nick. When you're ill, you get worse at this time of night. Your body's trying to tell you it's time
to be fair though, mate, I've been like that the last few nights, but today's probably the first time that I felt not as nasally and like it's horrible when I fucking hate it. Isn't it horrible?
Oh yeah, I just hate it this time of year because the thing is, like, I got over it. I started to recover, and then all of a sudden, I've just got ill again.
That's the worst thing when you think you're over it, and then bang, it comes back. It's like, nah. You think I left you? Did you? But yeah, listen, mate. The way I see it is, get out now, and you can enjoy Christmas more.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Christmas ain't far away.
Mental, mate.
I'm actually one of the things because I've got my work Christmas do on the 3rd of December, right? So I need England to win the group because if we win the group, we play the next round on the Sunday. But if we finish second, we play on that Saturday, but it's 3 o'clock. So I can still go and watch the game. I can still get tanked up, but then I got to go on a Christmas do after, which I don't really want to do. So come on, England.
Just that'd be messy, mate, if that happens.
We're going to Rayleigh. I don't even know what's in Rayleigh.
Something toothbrush, isn't it?
Oh, the pink toothbrush. No, I ain't going there. I've heard stories about that place. I don't even know what we're going out for. I think we're going for a Turkish, which you can't knock a Turkish. Love a Turkish. But, yeah. Love it.
We've got to organise our Christmas night out yet.
We have.
10th of December, Scott. Nicky's 40th. Nicky's 40.
Big 4-0, eh?
He'll be 38. Scott will be 48, 46. Graham will be...
I've got to go.
Graham will be 68.
Go on, Nick, sign up. There's one more thing.
Yeah, go on, Nick. Go on, let Nicky say goodbye and me and Scott finish off the show for the next
Yeah,
10
thank you, boys.
Yeah, go on. See you later, mate.
See you later, mate.
Thank you, boys.
Have a bit of cowpole.
Cowpole.
Honey and lemon and Jack Daniels and a double espresso. I told you about the double espressos in Mexico.
Yeah, I had one. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Right. Ciao.
Later, mate. See you later on.
Bonjour.
There's another super chat coming. Right, here we go.
Come on, mate. Read it out.
Dan the Man, £10. Thank you very much, mate.
Hang on. Hang on. £10. Dan the Man. I'm taking him out of me for my Christmas do, mate. He can buy drinks all night. £10. He's doing well for himself.
Cheers, big fan of the show, lads. When watching Friday Night Pint for them few hours, it helps takes my mind off things. Thumbs up, come on your irons. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate
That's
that.
What we're here for, mate. We're here from 7:30 till 7:40 tonight till when we go off. Just want everyone to have a laugh. We try to have a laugh. It's been nice not having no West Ham this week, to be honest. England have given us the buzz. West Ham is always here. We're West Ham channel, but yeah.
Someone read the comment about. I don't know whether to put it up. The
Go on,
comment
put it
last
up.
time someone went to the pink toothbrush.
Go on, put it up. I ain't seen it. I'll tell you what. I'm fucking definitely going to the pink toothbrush.
That's it.
I've heard about this pink toothbrush. I've heard a couple of people say to me about it, but I've never experienced it. So we'll see how the night goes. I'm just looking forward to going out for a nice Turkish. But you know what happens? You have a few beers, you get in the Christmas spirit. The songs are playing, the Christmas music comes on, and you just lose yourself in the pink toothbrush.
Thing is, mate, look, we were walking back to this train station the other Friday, went into one place for a beer, and then ended up crawling in at 3:00 in the morning. So,
isn't it terrible? Isn't it terrible what we do as men? We say we're having one more, and that turns into like 16.
Oh, that was tough, man. That was tough recovering from that.
I'll definitely be hanging around by the bar though if that happens. I'll be watching. I'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Matt Powell says you've been watching I'm a Celebrity.
Yes, I have. I'm going to be catching up with it after this. I've been enjoying it. You know, it's that fucking sort of show where you just like hour and a half. It's been good to watch. And Matt Hancock's in it. Obviously, people got their thoughts and feelings on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say my feelings on him, but fair play to him. He's got on with it. You know, he's taken advantage of it, and he'll probably come out of this the biggest winner, if I'm honest.
Yeah. They know what people like him know what they're doing when they go in there.
Boy George is a bitch, which we knew. I like him. There's some other good people in it as well. I think obviously Mike Tyndall's been good. He hasn't done a lot, but he's been good in like with his stories. And there was a few awkward moments, but for me, Ant and Dec make the show.
Yeah, they've always made that show. The thing is, they're so good together as a double act.
It's because they can say things that they can't say when they do like Saturday night at 7:00.
Yeah,
they can have a little bit of a laugh and a joke, and they make the show. And yeah, it's been good. It takes up because you know when this finishes, you're right on top of Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I've not watched a lot of it. Normally, I'll watch it. I ain't watched a lot of this one. So, like the missus loves it. And you know, she's watching it all the time, and she's the same. You know, you get this out of the way, and then Christmas is there, and she loves Christmas. So it's yeah.
Hang on, Emma. It's not Nick Hancock. It's Matt Hancock, not Nick Hancock that hosted. What was it? They think it's all over.
Yeah,
it's Matt Hancock. The what was he? He was the health secretary, the one that said next slide, please. The one that got caught during lockdown. How can I
getting hold of his secretary or personal assistant or something.
Yeah, having overtime with the secretary.
Yeah,
when all of us were told to stay indoors. So
yeah. Don't kiss or touch anyone, but it's all right for everyone to have a quick fumble behind a closed door. Geordie Toon for life. Pickford, Pope, or Ramsdale? Who would you start with and why?
Oh, I'll probably have to go Pickford. Just for tournament experience. But I think any one of them I'd feel comfortable with. Ramsdale's really improved this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think Pickford, for me, I'll probably go with him just for the experience and, you know, the penalty shootouts and I'll probably go with him.
I'm with you. The experience that he's got, look, he ain't had a bad season. You know, Pope's been on good form. Ramsdale's been very good form for this year, and you know, but I'm with you. Pickford, his distribution is better than the other two, and the way England play, you know, you need a keeper that's got good distribution. So I think just as you sort of see many a time with goalkeepers, they go for the more experience at the tournament level, and Pickford, for me, in the major tournaments, he's not really let us down.
Yeah, well, I just see that comment come up there from David Pickford, he hasn't let us down.
Mm.
And you look at tournaments that have gone by, David James, Rob Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's sometimes, as I said before, as much as I'm a big advocate for players who are in form should get picked for the England squad, sometimes players raise their game for the England sides. You've seen that. You've seen that before in tournaments, and we'll see that again. I think in this one.
Matt saying, "Hey Ryan, is it true Nicky's going on I'm a Celebrity next year?" He's not going on I'm a Celebrity, but he has applied for Big Brother, and he's got his first audition next week, I think. So you might see him in Big Brother. That's coming back on ITV. Is coming back on.
Yeah, I think so. Could you imagine Nicky trying to eat them things in I'm a Celebrity?
Yeah, I can. I've seen him eat worse. I've seen him eat dodgy kebabs from outside O'Neill's in Leytonstone. So, yeah, I think he could. Do you know what? If there was one reality show that if I was ever given a chance to do, not saying I'm a celebrity, but if you ever had a chance, I think I'm a Celebrity would be the one I'd do.
Yeah, mate.
Because you go out to Australia for 3 weeks, you get paid, you lose weight, you're in the sun, and you have a laugh. So I think that's the one I'd do, or the only other one. I don't think Big Brother would wind me up too much.
Yeah. Being cooped up in the house, it's a bit different when you're in the jungle.
And I think it'd be good to like face your fears, because obviously I'm not really good with heights. I hate rats. I was watching a trial the other day and a rat come in. I was like, mate, and pigeons as well. I can't stand pigeons. There was I think it was Matt Hancock was in this room, and there was about 12 pigeons in there, and they all started flapping at the same time. I was like, mate, that'd have been me gone. I'd have been like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Like,
at least now I know the one member of West Ham Fan TV I don't drag to work with me.
And you know what? And this is the mad thing. My first ever word that I ever said was pigeon.
Yeah?
That's my first ever word, was pigeon. Not mum, not dad. It was pigeon.
That's mad, mate.
Mad, isn't it? But I fucking hate them. I remember once, me and Nicky was in Trafalgar Square, and he bought some birdseed. Remember back in the days when all the pigeons were there?
Yeah.
And he threw the birdseed over me, and it was like the scene from Home Alone 2. And I wish he was here. I wish he was here to fucking tell you this story, because honestly, I think that day it really tested our friendship. It was either that time or the other time when he got a clown to come over to me, because I hate clowns as well. Can't stand clowns.
Clowns and pigeons and rats.
Yeah, so if you ever see a pigeon, if you ever see a clown riding a pigeon flying towards me, you know why I'm scared.
That's some concoction, that is. Gavin, congrats passing your driving test, mate. Well done.
Oh, congratulations, mate. I remember that feeling. And you know what? I was talking about this in work the other day. Next year, in May, will be 20 years since I passed my driving test. 2003. Fucking crazy, man. Time is just going. Honestly, you don't realise.
I know.
I know. Like when you're younger, they say, "Oh yeah, like time goes so quick," and you think, "Yeah." But honestly, mate, the time is flying.
Mm.
No, when I think about, like, I know we joked about it earlier, but like Nicky's 40, like in a couple of weeks. I'll be 39 next year, and like you think to yourself, like, if you're lucky enough to live to 80, you've already done half your life already. Like,
man, it is crazy, mate. Honestly,
my daughter was 16 in January. Like, it's crazy how life is just going so quick, and that's why, like, you just got to enjoy it. Just enjoy your life. Go out and do things. Don't because people say to me, like, "Oh, you're well traveled. You do this, you do that." Like, and I say, "Yeah," because if I want to do something, I just do it. I just book it. Because there's so many times when I was younger, I used to think, "Oh, I want to do that," and I never done it. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, if I want to do something, just do it. Just book it, and then you'll find the money.
Yeah, of course.
You'll find the money to do it. You'll save and just do it. Just enjoy life, because it's such a short time. We're here. We're here once. And that's whatever you believe in. Yeah, we're here once, and it goes so quick. It does go so quick, and you
You
just
are
got to
right, mate. When you go back and look at all the places you visited and the places that you've been to now, and there's still so many other places to go out there and experience and things to go and do. It's a mad way of the world, mate.
I was saying this the other day to Jade, like my wife. We was talking. And I said, you know what? Like each decade is different. Like you grow and experience. And the 30s for me was the best decade of my life so far. And I've done so many things. Obviously, I met my wife. I've been all over the world, but I want the 40s to be even better. And that's what I want to do. And I've got one more year left from March in my 30s. And I want to do stuff. I'm going to take myself out of my comfort zone. And before you say it, you bastards, I'm not going to go to the bar to buy a drink. But no, I am. I'm going to take myself out of my comfort zone and do things that I've always wanted to do but never done. And I've got a few things in mind that I want to do. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy my 40s a lot more than my 30s. And my 30s have been the best decade of my life.
Do you know what, mate? Right, when I was turning 40, I said to myself, I want to do 40 things at 40 that I'd never done, and I only ended up doing one because bloody COVID hit. And that was being stuck indoors.
I look back at my 30s, and some of the things I've done and seen, and obviously we've done this channel in my 30s and got to not only meet ex-players and heroes, but become friends with them and talk to them regularly. And obviously West Ham doing well towards the end of my 30s, the last couple of years. We obviously had the last at the Bowling, and it's not even that. It's things I've done in my personal life, like just things that I've done and seen, and like sometimes when we talk in work, and obviously I've only been there 6 months, so you tell them about experience, and they say, "Oh, you've done this," and I think to myself, do I sound like I'm being flash that I've done these things? Because it might come across as being flash, but it's not. It's just like I like to experience things and do things and try things and I've got a couple of things that I've always wanted to do that I've never had the bollocks to do. And it's not a threesome, by the way, before you jump in, because that was me 20s. But no, I've got so many things that I want to do, and yeah, I'm gonna take myself out of my comfort zone and do it.
That's the way to be, mate. It's what you got to do. Trust me. Yeah, you got to do it. I wish I'd done it. I'm going to have the opportunity, and it gets harder as you get older to carry on doing things, and especially when you have other responsibilities come on top as well. So it makes it more difficult. But I'm with you, mate. Enjoy life, because you never know when your last day's here.
Yeah,
I learned that a few years ago. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the one thing. I can be buzzing tonight, but it could be all taken away tomorrow.
Yeah,
and exactly. As long as someone's just said there, keep healthy and that is that's the main thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
I understand why people these days don't want to go out because of what goes on the streets, but I've never been like that. I've never been someone that's been worried about going out for the sake of it. It's like I remember my granddad said when I was very young, he said to me, always enjoy your Saturday nights because you never get them Saturday nights back. And that's always stuck with me. And I always think to myself, like, yeah, just enjoy your weekends, if you can. I know you can't go out every weekend. I don't go out every weekend. But sometimes for me, a night in when the missus watching a film is enjoyable. Not often, but I'm only joking. I know she can hear me in the fucking kitchen.
But that's it. It's different memories, isn't it? You make with your other halves and your kids and all that. You've got you look back at through your life. You make good memories with your family, good memories with your partners and your kids, and you make outstanding memories with your mates.
And that's what I'm saying. Like we obviously don't. As you get older, your priorities change a little bit. But every time I go out with my mates, it's not often that we always get together, but they're always great nights.
Mm-hmm.
We had Nicky's obviously stag do.
Yep.
We've had random nights out, and they're the nights that you cherish and you because listen, there will be one day that will be our last ever time out, and you won't ever realize it. just like when people say, and I know I'm getting a little bit, but there'll be one time that you'll kiss your mum, and that'll be the last time. You know, there was a time where your mum held you in your arms for the last time, and then you grow up, and then and when you think about things like that, it is sad, but it is part of life. And Phil Brown said there, family is everything, and that for me is a massive thing. You know, I turn down so many opportunities to do things because I'd rather spend time with my wife and my daughter going out than doing other things. And that's just always been me. I'm a family man. You know, I love spending time with my mates, my family. And that's what life's about, because my daughter's 16 in January. You know, a couple of years' time, she'll be out with her mates and she'll be living her life and she'll be doing her own thing, you know, and it's, yeah.
That's it, mate. That's it. That's why you got to enjoy the memories, enjoy the time that you got with them.
Definitely.
Matt Powell said, "Hey guys, someone asked earlier, any news on Friday Night Pint Live 2?"
Yes, there is. It's something that we are going to do next year, obviously. I think we're going to aim to do it towards the end of the season. I'm speaking to someone now about another venue in Stratford, which I think will be great if we get it. So it's definitely something we're going to do. And I know the last time it was a brilliant night. Fucking loved it. It was one of the best experiences of my life. You know, honestly.
Yeah, mate, it was
being up on stage like with you boys and just having them people there for us. And I think everyone needed that because it was just after COVID. But the second one will be bigger. It'll be better. There'll be a couple of other ex-players involved. It's definitely not the Weatherspoons in Stratford. As much as I'd love it in the Weatherspoons in Stratford, it'll be a lot cheaper. No, it's something that I'm going to be working on. Yeah, after Christmas, that's my main thing, to get that sorted, get it in the diary, get the tickets out, and get everyone buzzing for it.
Mate, it's doing this channel. It's one of the best memories that I've got. You know, it was great. It was great.
It's the best night of my thing doing this.
Yeah.
I've had some great moments doing this channel. You know, someone's just said there I should get Razor Ruddock on. I always think back to that Razor Ruddock interview. One of the best. Frank Lampard Sr., Harry Redknapp, John Hartson. You know, I've been lucky enough to interview some legends of this football club. And yeah, but that night on the stage, having a piss up, you know, to think that then people were there to watch us was mad.
That was for me, mate. As this is the thing, what people. One of the mums who I know at the school come over to me today, and she went, "Oh, you got spotted." And I'm sitting there thinking, "I got spotted." She went, "Yeah." One of the dads come up to me and said, "Oh, is that the bloke from West Ham Fan TV?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's funny." It's just like the fact that, like, I took Cody to his first game against Palace. It's the most I've ever had people come up to me and go, "Oh, you're West Ham Fan TV." You know, I get embarrassed still because it's just mad. Like, my boys go to me, "Who's that, Daddy?" You know, it's crazy, but it was just, you know, everyone.
My daughter for Father's Day give me a card, and there was a letter in it, and she's never really one that's opened up. She's a bit like me, you know, but she wrote me a letter, and in it she says like how proud she is of me, you know, and all that. And she said, "I'll never forget the time when," she said, "Oh, I've got a famous dad," and she said, "I'll never forget that time when we used to go football and we was in the pub. I took her in the pub at Upton Park when she had a season ticket with me." She went, "I'll never forget that time when that little boy come over and asked you for your autograph." Like, and I was just like, for me, like, them, yeah, I'm the same as you, mate. When people recognise me, or I'm a bit like, when people look at me, and I've been out in restaurants, I've been up London with Jade, and I'll have people look at me, and I straight away get all defensive. I think, who the fuck's he looking at? I'm thinking to myself, like, he wants a ruck or something. You know, like, I remember me and Jade went up London and we went to a random bar after, and the waiter come up to me and he recognised me from the channel, and he come back out with like some shots just for me and Jade, and he was like, "Oh, this is from me. Like, I love what you do on the channel." I went to see Harry Potter the musical. The security guard was tapping me down. He went, "You're West Ham Fan TV," and I was like, "I fucking like it is mad." It still even now gets me when people recognise.
You and Nicky get recognised a lot more than what me.
But listen, I'll always be the Muppet from Canning Town. I won't change for no one.
But that's it. And
I've always been the same. If you go back to, I've always said this. If you go back to the first post-match pint we ever done, apart from my hairline that's now back there, and I'd probably say I would say the weight, but I've lost a little bit of weight, so I'm back to. I'm actually less weight now than I was then, so I'll take that. But yeah, apart from the hairline, I'm no different, and I never will be. I never ever will be, because I know where I'm from. I was brought up good friends, good family, respectful, and I will talk to anyone.
And the thing is, we never done this to be people who get recognised. Yeah, we started out doing this because we enjoyed spending time together as mates talking about football, and it's just grown from there. And Steve, said, "Yeah, you guys don't know how much you are respected. You kept us all going." When we were doing this show through COVID, the amount of comments that we got from people who were going through a bad time and saying that we helped get them through it and all that, it made me proud that we did this show to help people. But it wasn't. Not only did we help people get through COVID and things like that, people helped us get through it. I think all the way through COVID, there was times where one of us was always down. Do you know what I mean? And doing this sort of picked us up as well. So as much as we've had a lot of people say what we did during COVID helped them, the people in the chat and us as mates, we helped each other through COVID by doing this. We went, like you said right before, we went from seeing each other nearly every single week to not seeing each other in months. And
like someone said, I'll put the comment up. He said, "I bumped into you in the car up in Corinth. I reckon I was chatting for a bit. You were probably taken back." I remember I had Nicky on the phone at the time, funny enough, but I remember this, and and he says about Amma's chat there, and I'll tell you something, like, people go on about like rivals on YouTube and things like that, and I'll tell you what, like, Gio obviously sent me something a little while ago, but I didn't get it because I was away, and I finally got it today. But he sent me a polo top, but he also put some like beer mats in it as well. He also put like a little note in it, and and obviously like it was different at the time, but it was just like, I know you've been down a bit and things like that, and he sent me that, and listen, I'll always have. I think the Amish Chat boys are great, but I've always got so much respect for Gio because he is like that. And we have conversations all the time. I spoke to Gio earlier, to thank him for sending it through. And they're top lads. So when people say about rivals on YouTube and you hate other channels, it's not true. We all get on, and that was Gio's a top bloke, and I really appreciated it. And at the time, he obviously did see that I was in a bad place. Because as you said, we've all been in bad places. We've all had our moments. We all might come on here and put on a smile, but we do struggle sometimes, whether it's work-related, family-related, personal reasons. I've struggled. I've struggled big time. I went through a bad patch when it was my weight, because I've always been like that. I'll put on weight, lose weight, put on weight, lose weight. And it did affect me. But I'm back now. I haven't been for a couple of weeks, but I will be back in the gym tomorrow. And I've been playing football again, and it has helped me. It has helped me massively. I turn up to play football with my father-in-law a year ago, playing with 10, 15 people I didn't know. Now I turn up week in, week out, and they're new people, new mates that I know. And that's what it's all about, like meeting new people and doing things like that. And as I've always said to anyone, if anyone's ever struggling, I'll always talk to anyone. I'll get so many people come over to me and talk to me. I don't ever shy away from it. I will talk to anyone. I'll have a conversation, whether you're in a pub tomorrow or whether you're in Lakeside. I've had it a few times in Lakeside. No, I'll talk to anyone. I don't think I'm better than anyone. And Nicky's the same, Dan's the same, you're the same, Graham's the same. No one, we don't think we're better than anyone.
No.
You know, we're just West Ham fans that do a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
If this channel ended tomorrow, we'd still be gang. You know, there's no difference. So
still
it's
talking
nice
about
when people recognise you, and it's nice when people come up to you. And the main comment I always get is, "We love Friday Night Pint. Friday Night Pint got us through COVID, got us through the bad times when I felt down." You know, we've had people message us personally, privately, saying they're down, and we've spoke to them, and they feel so much better by speaking to us. So if me taking 2 minutes out of my life makes someone that I don't even know feel a whole lot better, then I'll do it every fucking minute of the day. And it's the same for me. If I'm ever down and someone will speak to me to make me feel better, that's what life's about.
Exactly, mate. Exactly, and you're right. You know, that is it. There's a £5 super chat coming here. Thank you very much. Since 2016, I've watched the channel, and as the 6 years on, it feels like a family with Nicky, Dan, Scott, and Dom.
Oh well, I'm obviously not family then. Me and Graham are distant cousins. All right, Graham, we won't get invited to the party.
But you know, as we said, mate, it's, you know, everyone that comes up to me and says, you know, when they say, "Oh, you do West Ham Fan TV," and it's always, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for doing what you're doing. It's nice. You know, we do it because we love football. We do it because we love each other's company. You know, as I said, we've mates for a long, long time. We talk what we do here is no different to what we do when we go down the pub or when we go football.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing with this channel. I mean, obviously, we only met Dan in 2016, but for me, you obviously Nicky and Graham, we've known each other a long, long time. But that doesn't make Dan any different, because Dan's just the same now. We treat him as the same, like we've known him for years, and you know. But we've got that history, you know. Yeah. We've got that. We go back 15, 20 years. I mean, me and Nicky go back nearly 30 years, you know. So yeah. But as I said, mate, anytime anyone wants to chat, as long as it's not during EastEnders or Towie, I'll talk. I'm joking about the Towie. I'm not really.
That's it. It's just it's the people we are. We'll always talk to people, and we've said this all along. Anyone going through a tough time, you know where we all are over social media. Just come and find us, and we can. You know, we've always been open to people, and we'll always will be.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the airport going to Mexico the other week, sitting in Gatwick, you know, in the Weatherspoons on my own after my stressful time getting there. A couple of San Miguel's on the go, sat down at a table, sitting there on my phone, tap on the shoulder. Someone recognised me from the channel. And they was from Green Street, you know, a family, and like they recognised me from the channel, and I was like, fucking hell, like it's mad. I still find it mad, but. Yeah,
listen. The thing that made the weirdest moment ever was the fact that Chesney Hawkes come over to say hello to me, Graham, and Dan while you was in Mexico. You know, to sit there and think, you know, Chesney's someone who I've seen perform. You know, liked his music growing up. You know, it's just weird. You know, it always will be weird to me.
I think John just said there that Dan's a good lad. Yeah, I agree. I think we're all decent blokes. You know, we might have our moments where we argue, we might scream at each other, we might fall out at each other, but it's part of football, isn't it? Like it's only West Ham that does that to us. We've never fell out. Like Scott, how long have I known you? 20 odd years now.
Got to be, mate.
Have we ever fell out over anything?
The only thing we've fallen out of, mate, is pubs or nightclubs.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing you can ever fall out with your friends is nightclubs, taxis, and bars. But yeah, that's true. We've never, even like Graham. Like, I mean, how could you ever hate Graham? It doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. As I said, we're just mates. We don't try and be any. What you see here is what you see outside. We're just.
I think we all complement each other as well, because like if Nicky's on a rant, I'm the one that sort of will fucking jump in and just say, "Shut up, Nick," because we have that relationship. Like everyone's got their own personal things, and yeah, I think Friday Night Pint 2 will be big. It'll be massive, and I'm hoping. I know that like we had a good crowd there last time, but it was obviously coming towards the end of COVID, and obviously out of respect, people didn't feel comfortable being in crowds, which we understood at the time. But next time we hope we'll get a good crowd there. We'll get a good few ex-players. We'll mix it up a bit. We won't just make it all about us. Even though Graham's going to want to come in on a unicorn. No, we'll have a good laugh, and yeah.
That's it, mate. That's it. It'll be a good night. You know, it's as I said, the last one was a great night for us, but everyone who I spoke to and everyone who's commented, you know, people that have watched us still.
We say it was a great night for everyone. It wasn't a great night for me at the end, because I had my brand new trainers on, and Dan decided to drop a pot of chili sauce all over my brand new trainers that I couldn't get the stain out of. And I still haven't billed him for that yet. He's going to get a bill. He's going to get a bill.
Yeah, this is it. Do you know what? It's good seeing what people said, though. The tarpaulin in the garden, well, the dodgy tent we had in the garden. Going back to the days when who bit my burger.
Yeah,
it was funny moments, man.
Yeah, I think the early days will always be my favourite, because it was new to us. It was raw. I mean, if you go to our channel and you look at the oldest videos, you skip down. There was one where I'd done a competition prize, and I looked so nervous doing it. I was like, "Hello, it's rival," and I'm worrying that someone's going to come in and like catch me, like, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're launching on Saturday against Sunderland. Yeah, we'd love it if you was all there." But like now, like you can just, look, it's all about experience, isn't it? It's all new to everyone, like new to us, and we've seen so many West Ham channels come, and seen so many West Ham channels go as well, and obviously Hammers Chat, they've been around same time as us. I remember when we filmed at the Emirates, me and Nicky with Arsenal Fan TV, and I remember Charlie, who was just round the corner, come over and introduced himself, and said about old Hammers Chat, and yeah, we've always had a good relationship with Hammers Chat. Russ from West Ham Network, I was going to say my Hammers 11 then. It'll always be my Hammers 11 in my heart, but I'm on their channel next Thursday. I'm doing a game show with them. Russ has asked me, but I'm taking on X, which I don't like, because X ain't on camera, so he could be cheating off camera. I'm looking forward to that. That'd be good. So I'll put the link up on our channel.
Yeah,
it's next Thursday night at 9:00 after the Brazil game, I think it is. So Brazil, I never thought I'd ever see Brazil be a warm-up act for me. I'm doing well in my life when Brazil are my warm-up act.
That's it, mate. That's it. That's how you got to look at it.
I think we're playing Blockbusters, which we done on our channel, and I won twice. So the champion is going on.
Yeah, pressure though, right? Pressure.
I'll be all right, mate. As long as I stay off the beers.
I'm happy, mate. I won the cross-channel quiz when we first done it, so that'll always stick with me.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember being in the background getting more answers than anyone, but I wasn't allowed on. That was you, Charlie,
Jay,
Talk,
yeah, and
Evan.
Yeah.
Evan, yeah, fucking hell.
It's mad. That was mad.
What do I around to Jay? I used to have his phone number, but I don't think it's his. I messaged him a little while ago, and it must not be his number, because the message just didn't go through. So he's obviously changed his number. But yeah, he was one that split opinions, but I always got on well with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was a good bloke. He was. Oh, but Scott, you started the show, mate, so you can end it.
Oh, see, more pressure. See, look, all the years I've done these shows, I still crack under the pressure of hosting. Tank, I'm all right. I'm normally all right, but yeah, thank you very much, everyone tonight. Everyone in the chat, all your donations. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back when we back. is it next Friday's England, isn't it?
Yeah, next Friday's England. So we'll probably do something during the week. We've obviously got England on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I think
Dan, they're doing a watch along.
Dan's doing the watch alongs for the England game, so I think it'll be him, Jason, and Dame O, the regulars. So watch them for the watch along. Yeah, and we'll probably have some sort of content coming out during the week, and
we may move Friday night pint. We'll
Friday night pint. We might maybe do it on a Thursday, or we might have to move it to the Saturday. You definitely don't want to see me on next Friday night.
That's it, mate.
Where am I going next Friday night? I think I'm going to the Springhouse Club in Corringham, which is just down the road from me. So I'll be in there. So if any of the locals, Corringham, Stamford, the Oak, Massive, come down there, we'll have a few beers, cheer on England, beat the USA.
That's it. Be good. But yeah, so we will be back. Not sure. Keep an eye on social media. We'll let you know when Friday Night Pump will be back. And thank you very much for watching. One thing left to say.
Come on, England.
Come on, you Irons. Come on, England.